Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Blog, and it is a beautiful Saturday morning here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise. Wherever you are around the globe, you are highly, highly welcome. It is another weekend, and there are a lot of games that are taking place over the weekend. By Chelsea, we are a bit relaxed. Dear friend, today I'm going to be using today to analyze the game against Manchester United and the way forward. Right now, we are about 6 points to the top 7 to meet up with the top 7 team. We are now on 10th position. Yes, finally we got to 10th position. From 12, we are finally on the 10th position on the league table. Meaning if we can win 2 more games, we should be on the 7th position. Right now, don't you think we are making a headway? At least there seems to be a little glimpse of hope to European football next season. And hey, that reminds me, our game against Manchester United. You know, in the FA Cup semi-final that is coming up, right? We have FA Cup semi-finals against, I think, Manchester City. And Manchester United have it against Coventry, right? Okay. It is largely expected that Manchester United will comfortably beat Coventry. They are the championship side. And there is every possibility that Chelsea meeting Man City in that semi-final, there's every possibility that Chelsea could beat Man City and go to the final again. Now, if we are to beat Man City, meaning our next opponent is going to be Manchester United again in the FA Cup final. Yes, that is what is expected of every Chelsea fan. We need to be, hopeful that we will get to that final once again. Dear friend, so when we are analyzing Chelsea-Manchester United game, because of what is ahead of us, let's see, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? That is why I want to go straight away and analyze that game with you this very morning. Today is Saturday. I believe you have enough time. And so spare me. Maybe I will exceed my usual 8-10 minutes. I will exceed it. But just spare me because we must get to the end of it. Stay tuned and let's get started. Pochettino first of all spoke, and one of the things he said, I want to start with that. He said, I play with my reputation to come here also in a project that is to build a team with young players, talented players, giving the possibility, the potential top players. He was given the project, he was told what to do on his arrival. He knew that he was coming to work with young, talented, possible top players, young, talented, possible top players. This is what he had in mind. He was told. And so coming in, he said he put his reputation online. The question is, does Pochettino have a reputation? Well, some may say no, he doesn't. Some will also say yes, he has. If you talk to many pundits or some ex-Tottenham player, they will tell you that he loves to develop young talent, young players. But Chelsea's philosophy, Chelsea's idea, especially from we the fans, not the new owners, we believe in winning and winning trophies. But then these new owners, they presented to Pochettino a different idea that you're going to be working with young, talented, top players. And so he's saying he put his reputation at risk by coming to Chelsea. He said, I said from the beginning, I want to build a genuine relationship, not to kiss the badge or to do stupid things on the touchline to win the benefit of the fans. He wants to develop a team that through that team, that will become a winning team. The entire fan base will begin to love him. He doesn't want to be hitting his chest and kissing the badge for people to know that he is committed to the club. Let me know from you, what do you think so far? I am personally now a bit relaxed on sack Pochettino, because I'm seeing certain things that tells me that, after all, it's not all his fault. Chelsea's current position, it's not all his fault. Now, let's go to the tactical review of the game against Manchester United. Tactical review of the game we played against Manchester United that we won 4-3. Yes. Remember, we first scored the first 2 goals. They equalized. Coming back from the second half, we gave the game to them through our own errors. Right. Because of time, quickly, tactical review of Manchester United, Chelsea, or Chelsea, Manchester United. First of all, Chelsea at home line up in their usual 4-2-3-1 formation. That was how we started the game. 4-2-3-1. With the same team that started against Burnley. While Manchester United also started with their own 4-2-3-1. The same formation Chelsea used. As you can see it on the screen right there. That is what we have on the screen. The same formation we used against Burnley. The same formation we started the game with. Manchester United also used the same formation, 4-2-3-1. That is what they also used to counter Chelsea's attacking threats. Now, the start of the game just encompassed and foretold what the game was going to be, the game is going to turn out to be. Once you see the formations, you can easily predict how the game is going to be told. With the NBA end-to-end game reference be shown right from the first minute, the end-to-end game from Chelsea area to Manchester United area, back to Chelsea area to that's the NBA end-to-end game. Reference being shown right from the first minute. Now, I will explain why the game turned out that way in a bit. I will explain to you why the game turned out that way in a bit. Both teams plan to exploit each other during the transition. Both teams plan to exploit each other during the transition. Manchester United plan to exploit Chelsea, a weak defense. And the midfield, Chelsea are also looking at Manchester United that these guys, their goalkeeper received the most shots in the season. So we can also exploit that and put pressure. And that's the evidence in the statistics I showed you the other day. You could see Chelsea had 28 shots. 28 shots on Onana. Now, both teams' attacking strength is on transition clearly. If you've watched Chelsea and Manchester United this season, the attacking threat is on transitions. Okay? Chelsea tried to do that by first playing out from goal kicks. From goal kicks. As well, have seen all season, throughout the season, Chelsea tried to play from the goal kicks throughout the whole season to a mixed degree of success. That is a fact. Man United chose their times to press, however, as it wasn't all the time. When Chelsea FC did it well, it gave space for counter-attacks. Okay? It gave space for counter-attack. Now, Chelsea tried to do that by first playing out from goal kicks, as we have seen all season. Have that in mind. Okay? Okay. Moving forward, playing out of the back led to Chelsea to the second goal. Playing out from the back led to Chelsea's second goal. If you observe that goal very well, you can play the games again and watch it carefully. Playing out of the back led to Chelsea's second goal. The Sassy usually has three options in the build-up. The Sassy usually have three options in the build-up. He either give to Gusto or find Cole Palmer in between the lines or Jackson. In the build-up from the goalpost, the Sassy usually will have three options. Either Cole Palmer, either the Sassy to Cole Palmer or to Jackson. Now, Jackson dropped to receive this time around. What led to the second goal? Jackson dropped to receive the ball. And then Palmer, penalty. So, if you observe carefully, anytime the ball gets to Chelsea, especially a goal kick, when the ball is to the goalkeeper, he looks up, trying to give it to the Sassy. From the Sassy, he now looks up, three options he has. Either to give it to Malo Gusto on the right, or to give it to Nicolas Jackson, or to give it to Cole Palmer. Now, the same vein, Manchester United. Chelsea then settled quickly in their 3-2 shape. The 3-2 shape that they started the game with. They quickly settled in that. Went on the ball. Gusto was to provide wide at the right. While Cucurella invented on the other side, which is on the left side. So 5 in front and 5 at the back. Anytime they're in transition, it becomes 5 in front, 5 at the back. It's always that it has, if you observe carefully, 5 in front, 5 at the back. Good shape there. It gives the whole team a good shape. But it has a problem. I will get to that. But why did both teams concede so many transitions? It is because of this same formation. because of this same formation, and that tells you the weakness in our defense, in Chelsea's defense. This is where the weakness in our defense is always exposed. This is why we are conceding goals. This formation is not a bad formation Pochettino is deploring, but it opens up our defense because of the sort of players we have at the defense. Do you get it? It opens up the defense because the kind of players we have at the defense. For instance, Manchester United shape on the ball varied, as it was mostly Casemiro joining the back line like a halfback or a single pivot. Menu and Fernandes floated just in front of him to make it like a three-man midfield. Dalot invented the left shuffle between staying in the back line and providing overlapping, underlapping the runs of Anthony. So, if you observe what gave the penalty, this is where the penalty came from, the last minute penalty. In Dalot doing his job, overlapping, he made a mistake. Instead of him to release the ball, he kept running forward with the ball until he made a mistake. He lost the ball. Chelsea now took the ball and began to run with the ball. When the ball now finally got to the Manchester United area, penalty area, to consider penalty, it was an effort from Dalot to correct his own mistake that led to that penalty. Because when he ran forward with the ball, I'm not too sure whether he was running forward to go and score goals. When they were calling for him to release the ball, he did not. Until he lost the ball. Now when the ball now returned to their area, he now tried to correct his mistake by defending. That was what led to that penalty. Do you get it? Now, both teams, their goals were considered on how do you call it, mistakes, individual errors caused both teams in most of the goals that they considered. As part of their attempt to quickly transition, both teams were as much as possibly trying to win duels in midfield, causing mistakes to win the ball. It led to many turnovers. Gallagher was important to how we won the ball well to the counter. Gallagher, his role in that midfield was to win balls back, and he did so well. And that is why he even scored. If it were the first goal, he scored. Okay? There were two teams in this game for both teams. Two things that you need to take note of. Individual mistakes. And then two, lack of control. These two things led to goals conceded by both teams. Individual mistakes. Listen, this season, both Chelsea and Manchester United, we understand they are struggling. But their struggle wouldn't be noticed if not for the individual mistakes. Their struggle wouldn't have been noticed, assuming they have experience. Assuming Chelsea, for instance, have experience. Manchester United, they have a lot of experience in there. So I can't really tell what the problem is. But assuming Chelsea have a little experience in the squad, the mistakes would have been minimized. Individual mistakes and a lack of control, that is lack of leadership in a team. If we want to add three, if you want to add a third one, you can say maybe poor rest defense shape. If you want to add a third one, you can say maybe defensive shape. So I will just use it to highlight the goals and the key actions in this game for you right now in a few minutes. Now, Chelsea lost the ball, right? With Palmer well marked, as you can see it on the screen. Dalot wins it, but then Menu makes a mistake again. I would like you, because of copyright, I don't want to be playing videos. I would have shown you the video right now on the screen. Dalot wins it, but then Menu makes a mistake. Gusto makes a mistake still, but Enzo Fernandez was quick to bounce on the ball and makes up with it in a beautiful pass. Chelsea have the whole right flank and score from a cutback. That is United weakness. So mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes. Man United first goal was also a Casado mistake, which brought Manchester United back into the game when they weren't in it at all. when they were not in the game at all. It was Casado's mistake. Dear friend, Manchester United tried to play out as well. Chelsea immediately pressed, but Manchester United didn't focus on that. Their main threat was in the transition, winning the ball from Chelsea's lack of willingness to break the lines every time. Chelsea defended in the narrow 4-4-2. Narrow 4-4-2. Whenever they want to defend, they come back and defend in narrow 4-4-2 shape. As they do, but if the wingers don't track back, Cucurella doesn't have the speed. This is what I was telling you earlier on about the defensive shape. Cucurella doesn't have the speed, and so if you have any a player with speed, when they move up front, as 5 attack, 5 defense, like I said to you, right? Okay, 5 attack, 5 midfield. Yes, 5 attack, 5 midfield. Whenever the ball gets behind them and they have to track back, Cucurella was lacking the speed. That is what happens. They do, but if the wingers don't track back, our attackers, our left back and our right back, they are not able to track back on time. They are not able to track back on time. And by the time, if you watch the third goal of Manchester United, you saw what happened. That is a typical example. The third goal of Manchester United, that was the cross. Well, that was a typical example of what I'm trying to illustrate here. But both press from Chelsea also wasn't optimal most at times. Manchester United could easily use 3 passes to assess Chelsea's wide areas. United could use 3 passes to assess Chelsea's areas. The players weren't close to each other enough. There was so much gap in between. Dear friend, my time is up long ago. Like I told you, I'm taking a little much of your time. Just stay with me. In about 3-4 minutes, I'll be done. So why was Chelsea conceding so many transitional opportunities? Let me end it here. Why was Chelsea conceding so many transitional opportunities? To answer the earlier posed question. Now, Chelsea this season has always lacked control, and this game emphasizes it. Lack of ball recycling. Lack of ball recycling. Always willing to break the lines every single time, which shouldn't be. That is what allowed Man United to win the ball a lot on the transition. Dear friend, that was what allowed Manchester United to win the ball a lot of times on the transition. What gives a side more control in the game are the boring sideways passes, which Man City and Arsenal do a lot. Even Liverpool knows when to slow it down and speed it up again. Ball temperament, tempo setting is very important. If you could remember, it got to a stage where Eric Ten Hag was trying to calm the players down for them to relax. Ball temperament and the tempo of the game is very important when it gets to games like this. That you both are playing from the wide, that you both are having attacking transitions, that you both are having errors, you are making errors. You have to know the ball temperament, when to control the game, when to calm down. Eric Ten Hag was signaling the players to calm down. He was trying to control the temperament. Ball temperament and or tempo setting up is very important, and that's what the whole Chelsea team seems to lack. The distance were also too much, as we were basically in transition mode. All game. So the structure and the temperament of playing had to be better, but it wasn't. The distance were also too much, as we were basically in transition mode all game. So the structure, the defensive structure and the temperament of playing had to be there, but it wasn't. So there was no control. These things comes with experience. It comes with experience on the ball. Do you have that experience in Chelsea team right now? It showed when we lost the ball in Manchester United half. There was a 3-minute spell earlier in the second half where the two teams tried to break the lines too fast and they continuously lost the ball. Yeah. When Chelsea transitioned constantly into Man United half and lost the ball, this is what happens. Chelsea's midfield and defense wouldn't be able to make the ground up quickly enough to counter press and win back. That is why each time we lose the ball, you can see the NBA style from end to end. Look, like I said, there's not enough time. I'll have to end it somewhere. The same issue happened to United. That is very much why the game turned into an end-to-end game. It is also why both teams looked like they had no midfield. It then turned into an NBA game in the second half, as most attackers were transitions. And that is why we enjoyed it most, dear friend. I personally enjoyed the game. I didn't want the game to end. The way it was end-to-end, you know. I personally, and many people will tell you that they didn't want the game to end. Dear friend, this is my personal analysis of the game. What do you think? Let me hear from the comment section. I have taken my time to study the game, and this is my analysis. If we are to go forward, we will have to work on those things that I put out there. Yeah, lack of control and individual mistakes are the reasons why Chelsea kept struggling. I'll see you in the next one when you see me, dear friend. This time around, it took almost about 22-23 minutes of your time. Shalom and peace.